buzzword for the past couple of years has been crossover. It's a term used to describe a vehicle that has the dimensions of a hatchback, the size of a small SUV, but the practicality of a mid-size sedan. It offers a higher ground clearance and a better seating position that allows you to see out over traffic. Now, a firm favourite in this crossover category for many years has been the Nissan Qashqai. The Qashqai is now in its second generation and it's an all-new vehicle. With that comes some bold styling. Up front here we've got this aggressive V grille with a badge and angled headlights that are very aggressive. You can't just help but stare at them. It really does look good. Now combine that with the spotlights that sit low in the bumper, and we're starting to see traits that we first saw in the Nissan Juke. That big air dam up front adds an air of sportiness to proceedings. Down the side the lines are clean, elegant, uncluttered. I love the way that the C-pillar swoops up like this and includes multiple angles. It looks so elegant, so classy. And then these haunches over here, strong, muscular. All of this in a compact crossover. I think it's beautiful. Now the back end sadly doesn't share the same sort of punch that the front end does. In fact, overall, it's a little bland. It's not to say that it's ugly, it's just not as visually appealing as the front end of the car. Now, these wraparound tail lights as well feature multiple angles, but I feel that the silver piece inside with the reverse lights and indicators detract from the overall feel a little bit. Still, not bad looking. Now the model that we're testing here is the 1.6 DCI Acenta. Now it's fitted with the CVT Xtronic gearbox. That's a continuous variable transmission which is supposed to give you a smoother, more natural drive. Natural to what? But it does as advertised, it is quite smooth, even if it is a little slow to react at times when you're trying to cross traffic. But you've got the manual override that can work in that place. Now the motor's pretty good. It makes 96 kilowatts, 320 Newton meters of torque, and that makes this Qashqai quite nippy, quite peppy. Now the drive of the new Qashqai is very, very good. You can see that this is a manufacturer that has been making cars for a long time, that knows what they're doing, and that have put a bit of thought into it. Now the ride, wonderfully taut. It's a little bit sporty on the large wheels, but not overly so that it's going to be uncomfortable or make it difficult to drive. That said, it's going to battle with the rough stuff a little bit, so it really is more crossover, not intended for any sort of off-road work. Now the ergonomics are great, the seating position is fantastic, and the controls fall beautifully to hand. The visibility is also very, very good despite those high raking lines at the rear. Overall, the interior feels wonderful. There's a beautiful fit and finish. We've got a metallic sort of black finish around the center console and here on the door cards. There's brushed aluminium around the air vents here on the steering wheel and down by the gear lever. And then there's a bit of ambient lighting in there as well, and that really just highlights the interior at night. It makes it look fantastic. The dashboard also keeps a couple of the curves and lines that you're going to get on the outside of the car. It ties it in beautifully. The Nissan Qashqai 1.6 DCI Acenta with a CVT gearbox retails for 392,100 Rand. With that you're getting a 5-year 90,000 kilometer service plan. But if it was my money, I'd spend about 1,000 Rand more and get the manual all-wheel drive version. Now that one's bound to be an absolute gem, but if you have to have an auto, you can do a lot worse than the CVT gearbox. Now it's easy to see why the Nissan Qashqai has sold over 2 million units since its launch in 2007. It's got a great build quality, fantastic drive, and this new one follows suit. This new one, in my books, firm favourite.